What's going on, y'all? So, yesterday I posted telling y'all today was going to do a question and answer. Didn't get to do it earlier today, so I'm doing it inside. And yes, I am on my floor. If you're wondering why, it's because I just moved into a new place and it's still a mess. You know, my bed and all that other stuff, man, has stuff piled everywhere. So, anywho, I'm going to do it from right here. Hope you don't mind. All right. I said no rules on the question and answer, and y'all took that shit to heart. Like, y'all really took that literally. But whatever, we're gonna rock with it. I'm gonna keep the relationship questions kind of to a minimum, only because I talk about that shit every day. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that want to know more about me and, you know, who is this guy talking and all that other good stuff. So that's what we'll do. And we'll try to keep this video like, it won't be that short, but we'll try to keep it under 20 minutes, maybe even 15 or something like that. We'll see. So anywho, first question is from Facebook. Jennifer Minhite asks, what's your opinion on interracial relationships and those with blended families? Because I get a lot of hate since I'm in one, and it's really bothersome for me and my children. Well, I feel about interracial relationships the same way I feel about, you know, interracial people or mixed people. You know what I mean? I'm cool. I'm with it. I love it. You know what I mean? My grandmother is actually half black and half white. You know, meaning my great grandfather is a white man. But I don't think you can love mixed people without loving what they came from, what they're product of. Same way I say, you know, you can't love me if you don't love black people. I advocate for black love, you know what I mean? Just because I know that's what's attacked. When you look on the TV screen, when you hear it in the music or whatever, like what's promoted is always a dysfunction. Get out the bed, Tyrone. Get a job, Tyrone. Keisha, let me see my kids. Shit like that. You know what I mean? So my whole message is to counter that and really like promote black on black love, you know, in a positive light. But that doesn't mean I'm against interracial relationships. You know, it's beautiful. Anytime you find love, you find somebody that treats you like, you know, you mean the world to them. They treat you better than you ever, you know, thought could be possible for you. Stick with them, man. You know what I mean? Fuck what anybody else say about you not being able to be pro-black or whatever. If that's what you're trying to be, fuck all that. If you found love, if you found somebody that doubles your joys and divides your burdens, stick with them. Anywho, moving on, man. Steady Forward off Instagram asks, please don't take offense, no trolling here. Has that in all caps, so I guess she really means it. What makes you qualified to give this advice? That's a good question. You know what I mean? I don't take it as trolling either. That's an honest, genuine question. And I'm sure a lot of people wonder what makes me qualified to give advice. Honestly, in a general sense, nothing gives me any qualification. If you don't find value in what I say, if what I say doesn't build you up in some way, make you see things clearer, give you more confidence, help you make better decisions. If it doesn't connect dots, then honestly, nothing at all qualifies me. And I don't look for a qualification in a general sense. Like, I don't think you have to have a qualification to give your perspective or your opinion on things. Just go to the shade room, look in the comments section on any given post, topic, or whatever, and you see people giving their comments and their perspective and their opinions. They don't need a qualification. So why should I? You know what I mean? If I'm on Facebook or on Twitter or if I'm in person and I'm saying this is what I believe, like I believe you shouldn't take shit from somebody. I don't believe you should give 100 while only getting 50% from them. I don't think I need a qualification for that. But to the people that actually find value in what I say, those are the only time, that's when I'm qualified. That's when I'm validated. You know what I mean? Like certain things you need a qualification for, like, you know, I guess heart surgery. But when it comes to somebody like me who basically, you know, monetizes his voice and his opinions and his thoughts in his own unique way, like a comedian, like, you know what I mean? Like what validates or qualifies a comedian to get on stage and do his thing? A performing arts degree? Training under Richard Pryor or doing it for 40, 50 years? No. When they open their mouth, did you laugh? Did you laugh from their perspective? Did you gain something from their perspective? Did you want to come back? That's the only time that they're qualified. For anybody that doesn't laugh, Kevin Hart, shit, he ain't qualified to tell jokes to them. Same thing with me. Hope that answers your question. Anyway, Tierra Sherelle from Facebook asks, hey, I'm a huge fan. Thank you. Thanks for signing my books. More than welcome. Here's my question. It seems like more successful, educated women, the more successful, educated a woman is, the harder it is for her to find love. Why is that? There's a lot of reasons, and I won't get too deep into it. Like I said, for relationship questions, I'm trying to keep that to a minimum. But, you know, whenever you're successful and you're independent, I won't say it necessarily intimidates a man, even though that can be the case. But a lot of times it turns them off because it says to a man, like, I'm not going to be important to you. Since men are basically taught our value is what we economically provide. That's come from gender roles or whatever the fuck you want to put it as. Add that to the fact that a lot of independent, successful women have kind of made that known to men that they don't need them. So now we kind of stereotype, you know what I mean, that there are experience with successful women. We may stereotype you, even though you don't feel that way, as being somebody who's going to eventually, do the same thing. Add that to the fact that the higher up you go, the less people that's going to be able to come with you. So, you've achieved, you've done your thing, you've stayed out of trouble, you don't have much baggage and you're beautiful or whatever, less people are going to be qualified to date you. Just like if you were an employer, you paying $150,000 salary for a CFO position, it's going to be a lot harder to find somebody to fill that than it is for somebody to work for minimum wage, working the cash register, being a cashier. So, it's a couple of different factors. Like I said, I can't delve too deep into it on this, man, but hopefully that helps out. Wilson Sherrill off Instagram asks, would you date older women's? Yeah, actually I prefer older women. Funny enough. I've dated women 20 years plus older than me, so that's a yes. Let's try to find one, man. Okay, another Instagrammer asks, where does your point of view come from regarding women? I get this question a lot too. Mostly dudes be like, you act like women can't do no fucking wrong, man, what the fuck? It's like this though. My views on women are shaped from the very first women I was introduced to, which is my mom, my sisters, grandma, my aunties, and my female cousins. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't raised around dysfunction when it comes to women. So it's hard for me to speak from that perspective consistently. What I was raised around were women who were go-getters, women who overcame, women who taught me, nurtured me, protected me. They talked like they had some sense. They acted like they had some sense. They didn't take shit from dudes. You know what I'm saying? Even though they went through shit, they didn't consistently take shit. So, I speak from that perspective. The same way Steve Harvey would speak from his perspective of getting raised in a traditional household where his grandmother was a Christian woman who had him in church every Sunday or every Wednesday or whatever. You know what I mean? We all speak from our perspective, what's true to us. And I'm no different. So, yeah. Jamie Nicole off Facebook asks, I would like to know what really promoted that fight with Mr. Such and Such between me and some dude. I know you said it was over a t-shirt design. I don't really like to speak on that. You know what I mean? A lot of people have come. I was talking about this recently. A lot of people have come with different ways to try to engage with me or whatever. And honestly, my fight ain't with that person no more. His fight is going to be with my lawyers because you don't get to just lie on somebody. You know what I mean? You don't get to just attack somebody's character. So I'll leave it at that, man. But, in all honesty, I wish everybody the best. And I wish in this space, in this business, in this whatever, we could all just pursue what we love. As long as we ain't hurting nobody, you know what I mean? We could be left alone, but it don't go like that. No good deed goes unpunished. So, yeah, that's how that goes. But M. Kingston writes, ask me, this is from Instagram, what mentally stimulates you? A woman with a fat ass? No, I'm just kidding. I do like a woman with a fat ass. I ain't gonna flex. But what mentally stimulates me is a woman with a sense of humor, a woman with an open mind, a woman that can catch me off guard with something. Not like pop up at your house 2 a.m. with a knife and a cake, catch you off guard. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Just like really throw you off. You can't predict her next move. Like, I don't know. That shit is dope to me. So, Sheen's Fix off Instagram asks, do you get tired of all the thirsty chicks in your comments? I guess that's a good question. And funny enough, a lot of people ask me that. Depends on your definition of thirsty, man. I don't think it's thirsty to say that you think somebody's handsome or whatever. Some people go the extra mile. Yeah, I mean, this is social media. After all, it's the internet. But, if I could say stuff like what I just said, when we got a fat ass, and that's exactly how me and the homies talk. You know what I mean? That's how a lot of dudes talk. Damn, she fine. Damn, she sexy. You know what I mean? Damn, she whatever. She wearing that dress. So if a woman says that in my comment section, I can't call her thirsty. She just speaking on what she observes. Like, the one thing that bothers me is when somebody comes to intentionally throw off or derail otherwise constructive conversation. And that doesn't necessarily do it. That's just like a side comment. But I'm talking about somebody that like attacks others and insults others and can't give their opinion without degrading somebody. Like that's what bothers me. You know what I mean? And that's what I block people for and all that shit. But people giving compliments, man. I mean, one, I'm appreciative. It's nice to hear stuff like that. But as long as it ain't disrespectful, I don't care. Latasha Shante Crawford from Facebook asks, do you think it's disrespectful for a woman to gracefully correct her man publicly? Like small scenarios, nothing serious. Like I just said, long as you do it respectfully, long as you can give your opinion or state what you feel respectfully, everything should be all good. But what I've learned from being on social media or whatever, talking to y'all on the day-to-day, everybody got different definitions of what's respectful. Every time I block somebody, I'll see them comment on somebody else's video. He blocked me and all I asked was, or all I did was disagree with him. And it'd be like, the whole time I know they fucking lying. They fucking lying. Like, they insulted me. They degraded somebody. They took shots at somebody. So it depends what your definition of gracefully correct her man is. If you really do it gracefully, you know what I mean? I would say part of being graceful and tactful is to pull them aside unless it's something that needs immediate attention. But yeah, man, if you got a woman that's correcting you with respect and you doing the same for her, shouldn't be no issue, man. Shouldn't be no issue. Let's see another one. Rhonda McGelland asked me on Instagram, I'm really into this guy, but his penis is small. What should I do? I don't even want to get into I don't even want to get into this, man, but I do have a video on it. I forget what it's called. He's a good man, but his dick is small. I think that's what it's called. Just type it in, man. Good man, but his dick is small, and something like that. I did a video on this, so I'm not going to talk on that one, man. But sucks to be you. Janisha Doss asked from Facebook, have you ever thought about doing your own talk show? Yeah. The reason why I took this route, the independent route, man, was I wanted to be able to do my thing with my own voice, by my own rules. I've been about that since the very beginning. Anybody that's followed me for a while, 2012, 2013, even 2014 knows, I came in this thing playing by my rules. I know what the rules are, but this is my show as far as I'm concerned. People were expecting me, like at 23 years old, 22, 23 years old when I first started, I needed to be married. I didn't need to take my shirt off. I didn't need to do videos showing my upper chest, or I didn't need to cuss. I needed to talk about God more. Like there were all these different things, like a box I was supposed to fit in. And I said, fuck all that. My first 3 books were creative works. They weren't even self-help books, and that's what I was supposed to create. So, I like the idea of being able to have complete autonomy over my program and what I do. And until I can have that with a talk show, I probably won't do one. So it's going to be a while, I got to get my weight up before I can do something like that. Leah Cromer 1 on Instagram asks, what are some negative qualities that you feel you need to work on? I think I need to work on pride. You know what I mean? Not in the sense of like cockiness or arrogance. I just have a hard time asking for help when I need it, or like admitting when I'm not okay. And to be honest, that makes it hard to love me. You know what I mean? It makes it really difficult for people that care about me to care about me. It's not fair to them. So that's always been something that I felt like I, needed to get better at, and I'm working on it. So, but yeah. Nikki Renee Polak from Facebook asks, have the women of your past that rejected you or done you wrong tried to reach out to you? All the time. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna spend too much time gloating or stunting on them, but yeah, they've come back. And that's cool. You know what I mean? Like in high school or whatever, we may have had whatever black bad blood, or you may have felt a certain way, and now you want to come back and say what's up. That door is locked. We can speak though. I can be cordial. Miss Purple Dank asks, what the fuck they be? How the fuck do y'all be choosing some of these Instagram names? Like, I swear y'all just close your eyes and put one hand behind your back and type, with your pinky or some shit, and just say whatever the fuck I type is what I'm gonna go with. Anywho, she asked, anything? Can I hold $5? Yeah, you can hold $5. You can hold $5. If you got change for a 7, you can hold $5. Let's scroll down. What that mouth do? Nope, not answering that. Nadira Kofi Are you ever shocked at how people perceive you? I used to be more so than I am now. It's kind of weird though. Like you just get up, you do your thing, you do what you love to do, you say what you believe in. You know what I mean? You might post a picture of yourself or some shit like that, and then 100 different perceptions form from you just doing you. That's the weird thing about this space period. Like it's just like everybody can watch one movie and get 10 different reviews. That's the same thing whenever you come and you say, hey, whatever it is that you say, you look how you look, and then you have 100 different people. He probably beat on women. He probably got 6 toes. He probably, you know what I mean? You saw all this shit just happen. So it used to trip me the fuck out. Like, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. But yeah, based on what people have been through or who they meet, that's what they perceive you as. And it can be a trip sometime, but you know, I've gotten used to it now. Shawnee B on Instagram asks, although it's best to keep your life private, will you share more photos of your baby girl? Probably. She probably won't be a baby girl by the time I share more photos of her. She'll probably be graduating high school or some shit, but probably, probably, who knows, man? I don't know. Angel Pascal asks, how did you feel holding your daughter for the very first time? That's a good question. I felt like the biggest, strongest, most powerful, most important and lucky man alive. You know, that's as close as I can get to explaining it. Just one of the most proudest moments ever. Let me go to wrap this up though. I'm trying to find a good one. Delays Your Forever on Instagram asks, when are you going to address the bum ass women? I know you cater to a female audience and have that as a following. I'm one of them. But when are you going to address the hoes, the skanks, the scallywags that fuck over great men? Sometimes I wonder, like, if people really look through anything that I put out, man. I literally have a video called Fuck Girls Exist, or Do Fuck Girls Exist, where I go in on this. You know, like I said, my perception of women isn't really formed by the worst women have to offer, and neither is men. You know, a lot of people say, hey, why you bash men or whatever. And every time I've ever mentioned a fuck boy, I've always acknowledged and materialized, at least verbally, that there are good men that are out here that won't play games, that won't stall you out, that won't bullshit you. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with women. I've talked about, you know, how dudes, if you're a chivalrous guy, it's not out of style to be chivalrous if you do it for a real ass woman. You know, some women are going to take that for granted. I've talked about women who are deadbeat moms. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I think people judge me off of like 2 or 3 videos at a time, or what the most popular videos are. But if you go through everything that I've put out, man, whether it's videos, blogs, the book, or whatever, I've detailed about, you know, bum ass women and, you know, scallywags. I ain't heard that shit since about 2003. But whatever. I've talked about them. So, Fantasies ask on Instagram, when is A Cheat Man's Heart Part 3 coming out? I'm working on that, and I've been working on that for like 2 years. The novels are difficult for me because I put so much into them. I have to draw from actual personal experience to write my novels, and that's an emotional roller coaster. Anybody that's read my books already knows, like, it kind of gets real in those books, man. Some very deep situations. So, you know, that's it's coming, hopefully in the next year, but it's really tough for me right now. Have you ever broken a woman's heart? Asked AJ Brooks. Yes, I have. I've been hurt, and I've done some hurting. Light.sknn on Instagram asks, would you date a black girl? Believe it or not, I've only dated black girls. Only dated, only had sex with, only kissed. I've hugged a few white girls and a Hispanic girl once. But I've only dated black girls. Not because I'm repulsed by others, not because I just never ever would consider. It just never happened like that, man. It just never worked out where I ended up dating anybody outside of my race. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, there's some pretty girls in other races. There's some cool girls in other races. I just didn't work out that way, you know? So would I date a black girl? Yes, absolutely. Cocky and Bossed Up asks, why don't you post pictures of your family, i.e. your significant other and child, if you have a significant other? One thing people need to understand, you know, and I've said this before, part of it is protection, you know what I mean? As far as, because I've been both single and in a relationship since I started talking about relationships publicly. But there's more than just me that has a say so and whether or not somebody else is plastered for my fan base to see and scrutinize and criticize and investigate. You know what I mean? Even when it comes to my mom. Hell, my mama told me there's certain blogs. I had to take down certain articles whenever I was just blogging. I had to take down certain articles because my mama said, I don't like that, what you put about me. Even though it was endearing, I don't really like it. My mama edited my book for me. The shit that she didn't want in there, she edited it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are other people involved whenever I'm going to do something. I can't just put somebody out there because it's the right thing to do or y'all feel like it's the right thing to do. Same thing with a significant other. You know what I mean? Like, this is a whole nother person that has a say-so on whether or not they want to be in front of a million people who at times don't mean them well. And I don't want that to be a condition of loving me or being in my life. That's for my sisters, my mama, my whoever. You know, I don't want it to be like, oh, if you fuck with Derek, then get ready to have your business put out there. Get ready to have your face put out on all these blogs and different videos and all that shit. So, you know, as part of it is protection. The other part of it is respect, that I let other people have choices and whether or not they want to be a part of what I have going on, at least publicly. You know, and if they're like, no, I don't want to be on Front Street, I don't want to be plastered in front of all those people, then cool. That's what I'm about. So, yeah. Miyosha_Williams asks, how did you talk yourself out of quitting? Especially when people didn't catch on to your work right away. And I'll end it here, man, because the video's getting kind of long. When it came to quitting, this is a deep subject, man. I said it a couple of times, but like being discouraged, being depressed, feeling like, you know, shit is hopeless is nothing I'm a stranger to, you know? And I know that kind of makes me hypocritical. You know, I talk all this positive shit and to be encouraged, but I do get down. You know, I have gotten down, really, really down, you know, more times than others. But depression has been something that I've fought since I was probably 11 years old, you know, and I don't talk much about it because it's getting trivialized these days. People say depressed and they fling around that word and other words associated with it. So, you know, whimsically, I don't even like to talk about it. But when it came to not letting that beat me, or not letting being discouraged beat me, or not letting failure beat me, it was kind of like a one more time. You know, it's like a try one more time. Fuck it. You know, they didn't like this, they don't like that. Try one more time. And that's with everything. And I just kept saying try one more time. Now, you know, would there ever come a day where that doesn't work? Maybe, hopefully not. I don't know. But that's what got me. Try one more time. You know, why did you start? The reason why I started was to better my family situation. You know what I mean? Like, I want to impact people in a good way. Like, again, I want to be of value to people and all that good stuff. But as far as like what I'm trying to do to financially secure my situation and my family's, like, my family is my drive. My family's my motivation. I don't like the idea of being away from family and I can't go see them. They can't come see me. I don't like the idea of seeing somebody that's approaching 60 years old, that's very close to me, working multiple jobs, who shouldn't have to be in that situation. I don't like seeing somebody that I love staying married to somebody out of dependence because they don't have the kind of money to survive on their own. You know, I don't like being helpless in those situations. I don't know any man that would. So, you know, like when you remember why you started, what you're doing this for, and you just allow yourself to give yourself one more time every time, you know, it can kind of work wonders and continuing on. So, like I said, that's going to wrap it up, man. There were some other questions. Maybe I'll go and try to answer them in the comment sections or whatever. Oh, for bonus. Shit, I hope y'all stick around for this one, man. I know it's a long-ass video. This one girl asked, what happened to your first baby mama, and how did you feel about leaving her to start a new family with your new baby mama? You know, first off, I don't have a baby mama. I don't even like that fucking phrase. But I need y'all to do a Q&A for me to ask y'all questions so I can see where the fuck y'all get this information from. I got baby mamas. I got white women pregnant. I mean, you let the people tell it. I mean, you let the internet tell it. I got a fucking spaceship out my backyard. Like, I don't have baby mamas. You know what I mean? I have one child. Now, one mother of my child. That's it. That's it. All right? I'll give y'all that. I don't talk much about my personal life, but I'll give y'all that. So anywho, for the people that fuck with me, that show support, that outwardly show love, I want to let you know I fuck with you too. For everybody else, I still love you. Good luck. Hope you don't get hit by a bus tomorrow.